In spite of all the billions our industry has spent on steel and spectacle over the years, in spite of the growing monuments to escapism, fantasy, and thrills, there is a through line to our work that continually brings us back to the basic paradigm of reaching and touching our fellow humans. Is this not truly at the core of what we do? The thrills and chills have come after we have ideally made contact, human interaction, warmth, sharing, creative exchange, interplay, play. By our nature, we are social creatures who are starved for social. Children grow up smarter and more physically adept if allowed to play. Adults stay mentally young forever if allowed to play. And by play, we mean the stimulation of the senses, the challenging of the mind and body. By play, we mean the social equalization of many playing together on the same. By play, we mean the celebration of life and being alive. By play, we also refer to having opportunities to dream. And if stimulated in many ways over time, a young dreamer will grow up with a healthy life perspective and the ability to positively contribute to the world. All this from play. The living inductee into the IAAPA Hall of Fame took the concept of play and revolutionized it. The results are all around us in playgrounds, museums, fast food restaurants, zoos, water parks and theme parks, and comes from the brilliant understanding and actualization that the most nurturing kind of play is not something that happens to a child, but comes jointly from the child and the environment. We are pleased today to recognize and honor Eric McMillan. Eric McMillan is widely considered to be the father of soft play. His development of such environments as Children's Village at Ontario Place changed the playing field for all of us, with innovations such as the ball crawl, tube crawls, net climbs, birdie glides, and their surrounding ambience. Shift in play philosophy began. We have not been the same since, either. At the center of McMillan's work is the absolute belief that play is not merely something children do. He considers play an instinctive drive, a process of hilarious inquiry. Most significantly, his work is dedicated to the proposition that participation is the biggest part of any experience. His work began in response to growing up in the notorious Moss Side ghetto in Manchester, England, in the years after World War II. This experience moved him to look at inner cities and contemporary society's path in general in a new light, to in fact create light for others to find respite in. His early work contributing to urban regeneration took place in England, but did not find a truly resonant response there until many years later. It was in North America that McMillan's designs, concepts, and philosophy struck a resounding chord, beginning with Expo '67. 2 years later, the Ontario Place project brought him accolades, and he found the international press hailing him as a visionary. McMillan went on to design innovative and successful play environments for many of the finest amusement institutions in the world. SeaWorld of Ohio in San Diego, Marine World Africa, USA, Sesame Place near Philadelphia, Parc de la Villette in Paris, the Space Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and Expo '86 in Vancouver. So significant were McMillan's evolutions in design play environments, the magazine once declared McMillan the next Walt Disney. Looking upon his work, his innovations are extraordinarily logical, but no one before him had taken such an effective and holistic approach to children's play and the many psychological and sociological implications that go with it. Rather than harness and direct the energy and intuitions of a child, he created environmental avenues of exploration, enabling the children to make natural discoveries about the world around them. The result finds that learning is fun, and fun is greatly enriched when one can learn from it. And of note, this exploration is done as a social interaction without the fear of failure. Recently, Eric McMillan has been putting his life's work into a book titled Playground of the Heart. The book traces his many significant design projects through the years and well demonstrates the vision and depth of the man. McMillan has inspired countless designers and architects. The seeds of his work have taken root throughout the world and are evidenced in great abundance in both the recreational and hospitality industries. Macmillan's dreams have truly touched hundreds of millions, and his legacy is warm and he helped to guide his industry back to our basic paradigm of what it is to be human. The International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions is pleased to recognize the many lasting contributions of Eric Macmillan.
But here to introduce you to Eric Macmillan is Mike Demetrios, past board member and president of Marine World Africa for 23 years and the only man to move an entire park. Mike?
I'm very pleased to be here this morning to have the pleasure of introducing this year's Living Hall of Fame inductee. As you know, IAPA selects only one person for the singular honor of being recognized during his lifetime for lasting and significant contributions to our industry. We've just learned quite a bit about Eric's creative genius. It is a tradition to make this award a surprise for the recipient. As with most things, Eric is an exception. After trying the usual gambits to get him here today, we resorted to the direct approach, all to no avail, or so it seemed. Eric sent me a short letter, and I would like to read some of it to you exactly as he wrote it. Dear Mike, first I would like to acknowledge those living and great and dead Americans who have inspired my career. George Millay believed in me, and as an arrogant Englishman, I was blown away by Walt's work in Anaheim. I had dreams. You give me an unexpected compliment. You as an industry, thank me for being a part of it. I thank you all. Of course, my life swims with if-onlys. What if I hadn't pissed off so many important people? Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Macmillan.
Thank you. There is, of course, one person on this planet who has inspired me the most. That's my wife and partner, Rosemary Barbara Dool, the Bavarian princess who fell in love with a barbarian from the north of England. She is as much responsible for my successes as I am for my failures. I thank you for the honor you bestow upon me and those close to me, and I wish now to share with you the reason I haven't been active in the mega world these last 5 years. My youngest daughter, Babette, was killed during a race riot in Toronto. Since that time, the 4th of May, 1992, the course of my life has changed. And I rarely travel out from my life on the edge of the wilderness. But I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. In conclusion, on a more positive note, I'm working on a new project. It's called the Alternative Reality Concept. I hope, with a little hard work and a lot of luck, that it will be ready to open in Toronto next spring. The Ark will have an environmental focus. It will try to give hope in a changing future while playfully challenging our present reality. And I do hope it inspires others as much as my previous work in play. Once again, thank you for thinking of me.